Hey, welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. We have so much to talk about in today's video. Take a look at your screen. Different coins, different stories, different world events that all culminate around cryptocurrency. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We drop one video every day. Smash the like button if you want to support us. And before we begin, let me remind you, if you are like us going to Bitcoin Miami 2022, April 6th through 9th, use our code Altcoin Daily for 10% off. Ticket prices are increasing soon, so get your ticket earlier rather than later. Altcoin Daily for 10% off. Everybody's going to this. We will see you there. Let's get to the news. First of all, we're on YouTube. YouTube is one of the biggest content creation platforms in the world, and I'd be remiss if I didn't clue you in to this huge YouTube story. This is information that continues to develop. YouTube is hiring an executive to lead its Web3 strategy. The details are as follows. YouTube is looking for a new product management director with experience in the crypto space. Per a new hiring ad posted on LinkedIn, the Google-owned company is scouting for an executive who will, quote, define, communicate, and execute the vision, strategy, and roadmap for Web3 at YouTube. Web3 is a term used to describe the next iteration of the internet that is decentralized and relies on public blockchains like Ethereum. Core feature of Web3 is that users can independently own digital assets, whether they be crypto assets or non-fungible tokens, that denote ownership of digital art, social media avatars, or even virtual real estate. To go further, I loved Mark Cuban's response to Lynn Alden as he defines what exactly is Web3. He says the term is useless, and that's true. Web3 is this catch-all buzzword term that really needs to be defined because in actuality, anybody can use Web3. So, the term Web3 is useless, he says. What is different now between Web3 versus Web2 versus Web1, what is different now is transparency on the blockchain, auditable smart contracts, decentralized decision-making, all can enable entrepreneurs to create more productive and appealing dApps. NFTs are a simple example, taking digital files, applying smart contracts to enable royalties/extractable info, blockchain to publicly/transparently show provenance/transaction history. Decentralized makes it more trusted than centralized, more open than centralized. And then he continues with more advanced examples and where he sees the future of Web3 going. So I like it. We're following this, and let's check out what's happening with leader in Web3, Ethereum. The number of Ethereum addresses holding 0.1 ETH hits a new all-time high. This is what I love to see. And even further, users using Ethereum, check out this data. Ethereum user growth in a nutshell. A good way to track the adoption is by following the number of addresses with a balance. There are 70.4 million addresses holding Ethereum. Just in 2021, it increased 18.36 million. That means the network was growing at a pace of 1.53 million addresses per month and it really, hit its stride after DeFi summer of 2020. You can see that data right here. Now, the cool thing about 2022 is we have L1s like Ethereum building, growing, partnering, and now to a even greater extent than last year, layer 2s, in this case Polygon. Ethereum Layer 2 Polygon is getting a new NFT content platform. With Seer Network, they're aiming to decentralize content and empower creators with NFTs. The bigger takeaway is these things just continue to get funding and build and integrate at a rapid pace. And now pivoting, talking about Binance, big news with Binance. Ethereum rival Binance Smart Chain is rebranding and is now called BNB Chain. The rebrand is part of Binance's push to embrace GameFi and metaverse applications. So the core details are as follows. Binance Smart Chain and Binance Chain have rebranded together to be BNB Chain. The BNB Chain comprises the BNB Beacon Network for BNB token staking and the BNB Smart Chain, which hosts smart contracts. And of course, as mentioned, the rebrand is part of Binance's push to embrace GameFi and metaverse applications. And GameFi and metaverse applications, we're seeing a huge push with this as well. Disney readies metaverse push as Disney's CEO calls the metaverse the next great storytelling frontier. Disney has promoted an executive to lead its metaverse efforts, and the CEO said that he's blown away by the firm's work so far. In addition, other news, JP Morgan, yes, the JP Morgan that used to FUD Bitcoin to high heaven, and then we found out they were buying Bitcoin while they were FUDing it. JP Morgan is now the first bank in the metaverse. The Wall Street bank, JP Morgan, has opened a lounge in blockchain-based DECENTRALAND. Pretty cool. Let's talk about Bitcoin because, in my opinion, from what I see, Bitcoin's value proposition is becoming clearer than ever. So first of all, let's start here. ConocoPhillips, huge company, a 100 plus billion oil producer, has announced they are mining Bitcoin in the United States. Eventually, every single major oil producer is going to mine Bitcoin. Now, there is the devil's in the details for this story because in actuality, they are not mining Bitcoin. ConocoPhillips is what they're doing is they're selling natural gas to a Bitcoin miner in North Dakota that would otherwise be flared and wasted. This is still a huge win for Bitcoin, but again, we need to be accurate with what the information is. But still, you can see the way the future is trending, and all of these big companies are getting in on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And let's talk about some world news. This is, well, here's the thing. Trudeau, the CEO of Canada, has just enacted emergency orders involving the peaceful protests of the truckers in Canada. And one of the things that they are doing is they are freezing all bank accounts that they want. They're confiscating all money and crypto that they want. And crypto fans are pointing to Bitcoin because of this. Now, so Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has invoked the Emergencies Act, something that's usually enacted for, something like the pandemic or something like terrorist attacks. And they're threatening to bar truckers protesting vaccine mandates from the traditional financial system. In response, the cryptocurrency community has slammed the government's move. Now, you can think whatever you want about the truckers and about Trudeau. The fact is, the world is getting more permissioned. The world is getting more censored. The world is getting more centralized. And we truly need a cryptocurrency that is permissionless, decentralized, unconfiscatable if you store it correctly. And for that, the best option at this moment is for sure Bitcoin. And I think people are realizing this. The Bitcoin balance on exchanges just hit a new low again, for the first time since November 2018. While fluctuations occur in the short term, it's been interesting to watch this level macro decrease since March 2020. People continue to buy Bitcoin. People continue to buy Bitcoin, whether it's a good investment, whether it's a good business opportunity, whether they want to opt out of the system. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin, especially, look at this. The graph of US dollars measured in Bitcoin, not Bitcoin in US dollars measured in Bitcoin over the last 10 years is just decreasing. The dollar's losing value, Bitcoin's gaining value. TLDR, it's costly not to invest in Bitcoin. See, our brains are wired to expect diminishing returns. Now, you might look and laugh at this chart projecting astronomical prices for Bitcoin, and you may be right, but the odds of this scenario are probably higher than you think. It's just a fact our tiny little lizard brains cannot fathom exponential growth. When Bitcoin was $100, they thought $10,000 was impossible, and now we wish we could buy $10,000. Bitcoin game theory, aka the inevitable bank run for wanting a non-sovereign, decentralized, permissionless currency, predicts an acceleration, slowly then suddenly. Either way, make your own decisions. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. For me, that's a great place to save and retain my value and have it grow, well over time. But obviously, for the most gains, you want to look at altcoins, right? You make your own decisions, you do your own research, but there's just tons of things going on and tons of opportunity in the space. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. See you tomorrow.